I'm sensing contradiction. Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. I am taking a break from Facebook and Twitter. I am not going to be sharing this on Twitter. If you support my channel, you can find you can find the videos here, or I will share them on Instagram or Discord. But yeah, this story here is interesting. Disney's Little Mermaid live-action remake director Rob Marshall claims we saw everybody in every ethnicity before casting race-swapped Ariel. Well, yeah, that's all well and good, but there's no real proof to that, and there's no real way to prove it either, is there? Because you don't, or movies, specifically Disney, they don't like to prove anything. They like to make the claims. They like to make the outrageous claims, and yet bring no proof to the table. But let's get into this. Spencer Bakuli, shout out to you, buddy. This is from Bounding into Comics, and Spencer, he's a great writer for them. In light of the backlash to Disney's race swapping of Ariel for their upcoming live-action remake of The Little Mermaid, actually I wouldn't even call it a remake, I would actually call it a reimagining, because the story is not going to follow the same traditional love story, and I'll explain that in a few minutes. Of The Little Mermaid, director Rob Marshall has adamantly denied that there was any sort of agenda behind the casting of Halle Bailey as the traditional fair-skinned princess. Marshall, whose previous directorial credits include Chicago, from 2002, that was actually a pretty good movie. Memoirs of a Geisha, that was also a good movie from what I hear. I hadn't seen it yet. On Mary Poppins Returns, that one I don't think was as good as everybody thought it was. Offered his side of the story while speaking with Entertainment Weekly about The Little Mermaid's development. The director first broached the subject of Ariel's race after being asked by outlet reporter Nick Romano how he felt seeing numerous social media posts featuring young black kids expressing excitement at seeing the role being played by a black woman rather than a white one. I wasn't anticipating that, because in a way I felt we've moved beyond or so far past that kind of thing. And then you realize in a way we haven't, replied Marshall. Yeah, because there are too many people who are wanting to move backwards instead of forward. It was very moving to me to see how important this kind of casting is for the world. It really shouldn't be. Honestly, your feelings of how we've moved past that are actually on the right track, because we should have been moved past that. However, some people just don't want to. However, despite the importance with which he views Bailey's casting, the director then attempted to reassure Romano and his readers that there was no agenda behind Disney's asking the actress to be part of the world, or Little Mermaid's world. We were just looking for the best actor for the role, period. The end, declared Marshall. We saw everybody of every ethnicity, he added, maintaining that the only goals he had and his fellow members of the film production team had during the casting process was to find someone who could act incredibly strong, passionate, beautiful, smart, clever, and deliver such a performance with a great deal of fire and joy. Halle still had that freshness in herself, concluded Marshall. As soon as we cast her, we were really thinking in terms of how we can make this her Ariel. As of writing, Halle's murky, hard-to-see CGI-heavy debut as Ariel is currently on track to crash into theaters May 26, 2023. Now, they're saying that there's no agenda. That there was absolutely no agenda. That they actually saw everybody of every ethnicity. Prove it. Release the auditions to the public. Disney. Rob. Do it. Show us that there is no agenda here. Show us that there is absolutely no agenda, except that there's just one fucking problem. Halle Bailey kind of already spoke up about the film. Yeah. Exhibit A. New Little Mermaid Snow White stars say that their modern characters won't be defined by needing a man's love. Call it the Elsa effect, or maybe it's just progress. What the fuck? Both Rachel Ziegler and Halle Bailey, respective stars of Snow White and Little Mermaid, say their modern, diverse versions of the iconic animated princesses will be far less tethered to those age-old true love storylines. She's so focused in becoming the leader that her father tells her that she can be, and she's trying to find the courage to stand up to the evil queen, to find her own agency and rule a kingdom. That's the Snow White one. And and she meets so many incredible people along the way. And maybe she finds love, maybe she finds friendship, but what's really important is that she finds her own voice. And while Eric, Jonah Howard King, will still be a major character in next year's Little Mermaid, Bailey says her Ariel won't be defined by a romantic attraction. That's the whole point of her wanting to be a human. Because she fell in love with one. We keep a lot of the meat of the film that made us all fall in love with this film. Apparently you didn't. Says Bailey, 22. It's really her and her gumption and just excitement for life above her world. So it's amazing, but it's also updated with the current times. Oh, you mean where women completely disrespect men, treat them like shit, and somehow say that they're better than them because because of the power of the vagina? Yeah. I think she really goes for what she wants. She's not scared. It's not about it's not all about a boy. It's about what she wants for herself and her life. Yeah, that's not the story of the Little Mermaid. And that kind of contradicts what Rob Marshall is saying. I mean, yes, may not have been, or especially if he can't prove for fact that he auditioned other races of actors and actresses. You see, folks, the whole race swapping from white person with red hair to person of color, it's been going on for over a decade. I believe it's been going on for like 15, 16 years, almost 20 years. It's called the ginger side. People have a name for it. But yeah, I'm sorry, I just don't believe Rob Marshall's words unless he can actually bring proof. And Halle's not helping his case any. This story is not the Little Mermaid that we all know. This is not going to be the story that we all fell in love with. I don't care what anybody says. To the contrary, because they're proving it with their own words. You've not attracted me to see this film. I will not support this film, or the Snow White one for that matter. You know what I will support? The original Snow White story from Disney. The original Little Mermaid story from Disney. I would rather watch those and have any future offspring I may have watch them than the live action crap that Disney has been putting out over the last few years, because honestly that stuff sucks. Anyway, that's the video, folks. You all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you think of all of this? Do you think Rob Marshall may have auditioned others that weren't black or people of color or diverse? Or do you think he's full of shit? And what do you also make of Halle Bailey and Rachel Ziegler's characters about we don't need no man in order to make our characters special. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section below, folks. This has been Orange Hat Reviews. Have a Merry Christmas and stay humble.